So I wanted to update you. It is January 13th and Friday the 13th. And I wanted to update you. I'm off today, so I just got back from Walmart grocery shopping. So everything's still here in the van, but I've pulled in. And so I just wanted to film this before going on with my day, because I want to tell you about a heart change that I have had and that my husband has had as well. I'm very excited about this. So I don't remember when it happened. I think it was November. So I know that a lot of you have said in the past, as you have commented during my ovulation and pregnancy test videos, have you ever thought about adoption? Have you ever thought about embryo adoption? And I have, of course. And my answer was always, no, it's not for me, because I really want to have my own child, and I really want to try my best to just, have one more of my own child and everything. And if it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen, because, I am 45 years old, if you didn't know that. And I did not get to have children in my youth because I was not married. The end. That's the reason. I do not have infertility issues. This is all about age right now. And so, which in a form is infertility, because my body is going through perimenopause and is shutting down. My ovaries are in failure because I am 45 years old. But I was, fertile throughout my entire youth, and I didn't get to use that time because I was not married. And, back then, I had to be married to have children, because for one, I couldn't afford to do it all by myself. I'm a dental assistant, and, when you're starting out as a dental assistant, you don't make a lot of money. And so to afford all of that on that kind of a salary would put me at poverty level. And, as a single person, it was just fine. I could afford my own apartment and, everything was fine. But to add a child into the mix, as a single mother, and then you're talking daycare prices, because, you can't be a stay-at-home mom when you are alone. And so, just all of that kind of stuff went into that. And then I wanted a family, I wanted a husband, and I wanted children. So anyway, and you've probably seen that whole story. If you want all the details of that, you can watch my fertility story. I've got a part 1 and part 2, and it explains all that, and getting married later, and how when I finally got married, to finally get married and to still not get to have children was a huge blow and a shock, and something I'd never even thought could be possible. So anyway, I'm so excited. So anyway, I have made a commitment to myself to try to have my own natural child until I turn 46, which is April 20th. So if I start a cycle before my birthday, I will complete that cycle with an insemination. So I will complete that cycle with an insemination for my one last attempt at my own natural baby. So, but I've been trying ever since my daughter was 9 months old, I think, when I started 8 months old. She was 8 months old when I started trying to have baby number 2. And that was in October of 2019. So when I was 43, I got pregnant almost every cycle that I tried with her donor's sperm. He was so fertile, and he got me pregnant almost every single cycle of 2020. But I had chemical pregnancies every single time. I would get a really good solid positive on a first response just to start my period right on time. And I forgot all about taking DHEA. I can't even believe I spaced that. And so just this year, I cannot believe it took me this long to remember to take DHEA. And so I've been on it a solid 6-7 months now. And so, but, I just, here I am at 45, not 43 now. So anyway, but I'm still taking that. I switched to ubiquinol for a little extra oomph instead of just the regular CoQ10. And so, and I'm still taking like omega-3 and an extra salmon oil pill, and everything like that. So, and the folate and everything. And so I'm taking all my vitamins like I have been. So I'm going to, give it my best effort until April. But here is the kicker. Okay. I think it was November. It was the cycle that I was feeling hopeful about, and ended up starting a period at 60 PO. So I was in shock. I'm like, you got to be kidding me. Here I'm looking at, a period at 60 PO in the morning, bright and early, 7 a.m. And I'm like, I can't believe this, and I was feeling down about it all day. That night, I get chills just thinking about it. That night, okay, backstory real quick. I met a friend in junior high gymnastics. They do gymnastics. It was junior high, 7th, 8th, and 9th grade. So I believe I was in 9th grade and she was in 7th grade. And it was gymnastics tryouts at my junior high. And we're sitting there and the coach is talking about stuff. And I look over at her and I crack a joke and she laughed. And we were friends ever since. So, because she laughed at my jokes. But she's 2 years younger. So anyway, we've been friends, and as you get older, you move away, you lose track for a couple years, but then you regain, and hey, how are you doing? I haven't talked to you in forever, and everything. So she, and I always had her phone number in my phone, and then I think I changed phones and lost it, and then I talked to her on Facebook, got her number back into my phone. I don't remember how that happened, but just things like that happen when you get a new phone and you think you transfer everything and you don't, and you lose it. But anyway, I got her back into my phone, and we talk here and there. She announces last year, it was before summer, that she announced that she was having twins. And I'm freaking out. I'm like, oh my gosh, congratulations and everything. I was so happy for her. And I couldn't believe it. She said she was having twins, and so I thought, oh, I bet she did IVF. Because, it's not too common for someone to ovulate 2 eggs at once, but yet I work with a girl I work with a lady whose daughter ovulated 2 eggs and got pregnant with fraternal twins. And actually the dentist I work with, his wife ovulated 2 eggs and had fraternal twins. So anyway, but yeah, come to find out she did IVF. So that night when I was at 60 PO and I started my period, she text messages me and she said, hey, Andrea, I know, this makes me want to cry. I know that you want to expand your family. I can't even talk. Okay, sorry. I'm going to edit this part out. She said, I know that you always wanted to have more kids. And she said, we are done with our family. And we have 2 genetically tested, healthy embryos left that we would like to give to you. And I said, I can't do that because I can't have your children. I cried a little bit. And anyway, that was at night while I'm in bed. I'm literally turning out the light, and she text messages me, and I read that, and I'm freaking out. My heart starts to race. I go out and I tell my husband about it. He's like, what? Like, that's crazy and everything. And not crazy, but, just like, wow, that's, but I like, what do I say? What do I say? I can't do that. I cannot take her children. Like, those are her kids, and, just the thought of them growing up looking just like her and her husband, it's like, how do you, those are your kids. And I wrote her the next day and I said, please, if I can encourage you to give yourself some time. I know you're probably tired, and I know that this is stressful, and the thought of having more is probably unimaginable. I know that when I gave birth to Hannah, I thought, this is it. There's no way I can do this again. But then as time goes on, your body heals, you get the hang of things. And that's when you're able to say, hey, yes, let's, about a year or two later, you're like, yes, I can do it again. But that initial postpartum, you're like, I can never, how do you have more children after this? And so I said, please, I encourage you to keep them and keep them in your family and everything. And I told her about how it would be so hard for me to have her children growing up with me, looking like her and her husband, blah, blah, blah. And that's when she told me that they're not her biological children, and that she, due to, the statistics given to her and everything, and I think she was 43 at the time she did this, correct me if I'm wrong. She was about 42, 43 when they did this, and they did try naturally, but he ended up having some issues with his sperm. And then she, being 42, 43, was not given a great statistics as far as, the health of her eggs and everything, as we all have been given. And so she went ahead and said, look, we're as old as we are, let's go ahead and do this with donor egg and donor sperm. So she found a donor with dark auburn hair, because she has strawberry blonde hair. And I remember just when I met her in like all of our teenage years, her hair was just gorgeous. Like, how do you get hair like that? So pretty. So strawberry blonde. And so she wanted the babies to look like them. And so she picked a donor that had dark auburn hair. And then they picked a male sperm donor that has almost bleach blonde hair, hoping to get that strawberry effect. Anyway, so when she told me that, like, this huge burst of relief filled me, because I'm not taking children away from a family. These people don't even know each other. It's a donor egg and a donor sperm. These people are donating because they want to help families, but they're not together. They're not married. They're not a couple with, and I don't know how you feel about that, but it made me feel better about it. And it made me feel like, okay, there are two girls that are sitting in a freezer that need a home, and I want them. And I totally want them. So that's the heart change that I had. And my husband said absolutely not. And then we had a discussion. It wasn't a fight, but it was a discussion, basically saying, look, when we got married, you knew that I wanted to have 4 kids. And you said before we got married, or maybe it was right when we got married, that, well, let's start with 2 and see how we're doing. Well, he remembered that, and he's like, so out of nowhere, he goes, okay, 1 more. And I felt like this huge, a huge release of relief that he's finally saying, yes, let's go ahead and have 1 more child, because, I'll be honest with you, he has not been supportive of me trying to have another baby. And it was not fair, because of what he was going back on his word from the beginning. And he realized that, and he has had a heart change as well, that you're right. I did in the beginning say, yes, let's start with 2 and see how we do. He said, start with 2 and let's see how we're doing. And I have not changed in wanting kids. I've never changed. And so that's been kind of a marital block for these, oh gosh, how long have we been? 9 years now we've been married. And it's been a major hang up in our marriage, because everything I said I wanted is still the same. But he just, things happen, children are expensive and they're hard. It's hard when they're crying and screaming and throwing fits and stuff for you to want more. So he's a man. And so anyway, so it's, it's hard when you have just everyday challenges to go, wow, you want to add to this? But yes, I do. And because kids throw fits, they have problems, they don't listen, they don't obey, you know, and that's just the way it is. They don't stay little kids forever. So, but anyway, so I had a heart change and a mind change, and now all I can think about is wanting these 2 girls. Now, again, he said just one, which leaves one left over that would be adopted out to someone else. I don't want that to happen. I'm going to push for both children. My OB was very excited when I told her about this, but she said she doesn't think anybody would transfer both of them due to my age, which I think is age discrimination. I believe my body was built for this. I naturally could have twins. I could have twins, identical twins naturally. Twins are all over in my family. My sister got pregnant with twins, did lose one of them. It disappeared in the early stages of pregnancy. And my first cousin had identical twin boys, and my grandmother had identical twin brothers. So because it is the egg that makes the twin, either it splits in half or you ovulate 2 eggs. And so I was probably at some point going to have a twin of some sort naturally. And so I'm going to call the clinic. I guess there is a new clinic that is opening up here in Sarasota. I'm going to call them for a consultation. I'm going to ask them if they would consider doing that. Now, my husband has said no to both, but I'm really going to hope and pray that he changes his mind. I don't want to leave a sister behind. So anyway, that is what I'm going to plan on doing. I'm going to try naturally with donor sperm until April. If I do not get pregnant with my own natural child by April, I am going to have this in the works because I want to be able to transfer in May. So, and then my friend sent me an adult picture of the egg donor, and she is so pretty. I can't even believe it. Like, I got it last night and I saw the picture and I'm just like in shock. Like, she is so pretty, and she has dark auburn hair, and I thought, oh my gosh, she is so pretty. These babies are going to be supermodels. So not that that matters, you know, but it's just like, it's nice to see a face. And you know, so here I'm going against everything I said I would never do. I mean, I said I would never do any of this stuff, and I'm doing absolutely everything. So, for any of you that say never, ever, ever, just know that when you say never, you just might end up doing exactly that thing, you know, that you said you would never do. And I think it just boils down to having the heart for children and wanting to be that mother. And when your natural body, you know, and I missed all my opportunities because I did not have children in my youth. And so I missed it. I missed the opportunity. And I knew as it was happening that I was missing it. I would say all the time, I am missing my opportunity. It's getting away from me, and it did. And thank God I got to have my one beautiful girl with my own egg, and Hannah, and she is my own egg. But I did use donor sperm for her, and her donor long since retired, and he is out of sperm, and she has like 2 or 3 siblings out there somewhere, but you know, if they don't register on the site, you'll never find them. So yeah, so you know, that's fine, but I can't believe the way this is working out and the way that this is happening. And so, you know, don't ever say you're never going to do anything, because you just might end up doing it. And so, you know, obviously I don't have pregnancy test videos to have right now. I did not get pregnant, of course. I think that's obvious by now. But I am doing letrozole this cycle. I am on day 4 of letrozole, and I am cycle day 5 right now. So I'm cycle day 5. This is day 4 of letrozole. My last pill will be for tomorrow. and then we'll just see what happens. And I will do the ovulation testing from here on out. I will do pregnancy testing from here on out. I am sorry that I have slacked on that. It's hard to want to post that when they're all negative. I mean, not even a ghost line, like nothing. So it's like, why even bother with this? But I will from now on, and I might even have to do live testing just because it's so hard to get a bunch of clips together and edit and put it all together. It takes forever. And I'd rather just give you a quick, here's my pregnancy test, let's move on. But anyway, I don't know what I'll do, but anyway, I am so excited for this, and I almost just want to stop and just go for the embryos right now. But I did make a commitment to myself, and I will feel good about trying until April. But I'm also going to be taking the steps necessary, and if they have to do more exams and all that kind of stuff, they probably want updated exams to make sure that I'm healthy and can carry these babies, which I know that I can. And then we'll go from there and hopefully transfer in May or June. I think that'd be awesome. Now, if we transfer in June, they're gonna have February birthdays, or maybe even January, which is fine. I want to get started. Hannah's February 28th, so they might end up having birthdays right on top of each other, which, who cares? Just, let's have some babies. So anyway, so that is it for this video. I know some of you are probably shocked because you've written to me and said, have you ever thought of that? And I said, no, blah, blah, blah. Well, now I'm saying yes. So you were right. So, it's just, that's so funny how it takes time, and it takes time to digest something before it becomes okay with your spirit and soul. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, and now I feel good about this, and I'm ready to go. All right. So anyway, that is it. And I am so grateful for all of you who support me. You ask about me. You want to know what's going on with me. This is what's going on, and I'm excited to share these next couple of months with you and get some positive pregnancy tests. So anyway, I will talk to you soon. You guys are great. I will talk to you later. Bye.